I'm 5th Ward Ann Arbor City Council member Chip Smith, and I'm your Democratic nominee in the November 7th general election. 2 years ago, I ran for City Council to make government work better for the citizens of Ann Arbor, and that's exactly what I've done. During my term, we've been able to get a lot accomplished together. We've adopted design guidelines to protect the character of our downtown. We've succeeded in strengthening the 1,4-dioxane standard to keep our drinking water safe. We've adopted a vulnerable road user ordinance to protect cyclists and pedestrians. And we've expanded local funding for street, sidewalk, bicycle, and crosswalk improvements. I've also helped pass legislation that pledges Ann Arbor to adhere to the Paris Climate Agreement, that establishes our city as a welcoming community to immigrants and refugees, and that funds a street tree planting program to capture stormwater and to make sure we stay a beautiful tree city well into the future. I've also been engaged with the public. I talk with people every day about issues in our city, addressing concerns and learning about your perspective on the future of our community. I host monthly coffee hours and I try and personally respond to residents' concern, be it with a phone call, email, or via social media. This is usually under the radar stuff, but providing information to people so they can solve problems and advocate for positions they care about is a huge part of being an elected official, and one I've done well. I'm running for re-election because our city still faces some tough challenges. I believe passionately that we need to address affordability here in the city, and that housing and transportation work together in that equation. We need to continue to improve the provision of basic services to residents, making sure that we do a great job of plowing snow, collecting, recycling, and trash, and maintaining our infrastructure. We need to keep working on building a transportation network that moves buses, cars, bikes, and pedestrians safely. And we need to fund climate adaptation programs to do our part to reduce carbon emissions and to address the impact of larger storms on our aging infrastructure. We have a responsibility to future generations that we make sure Ann Arbor is environmentally, financially, and socially sustainable. To do that, we need responsible development. Responsible development is development that allows folks to live closer to their jobs, especially lower wage and middle income workers. Responsible development is the kind that doesn't depend on single occupant car trips to be successful. Responsible development means beautiful architecture and public spaces. We need responsible development if we're going to address affordability in Ann Arbor. We need it if we're going to reduce our carbon emissions. We need it if we're really serious about housing equity. And we need it if we're going to be a resilient community. I'm Chip Smith, 5th Ward Democratic nominee for Council, and I'd be honored to have your vote on November 7th.